What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Victory Monday rolls on, and you guys know what we do on Mondays after games. We talk about snap counts. We take a look at snap counts. We call it Snap Count Monday. Get a feel for the rotations with the players, get a feel for who's on the field, how good the balance is offensively to defensively. I think you guys know the drill by now. So, let's take a look at the snap counts for the Seahawks in that Panthers game and see where we are overall. Big picture, things are pretty nice. I like where this team is going overall outside of the offense defense imbalance, but to a certain extent, that's a little bit unavoidable. And technically, if you want to look on the bright side, this game they did make positive improvements. So 66 snaps offensively, that's pretty good. It's not amazing, but it does work pretty darn well. I will take 66. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you about Sleeper, a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat on sports games in real time with other users. You can get the fastest scores, blazing fast sports news and sports alerts right at your fingertips. And of course, you can use Sleeper to play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. This is the way sports were meant to be enjoyed together. So download Sleeper today. Use promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. And you can pair that with another promo they have right now where you can get a $20 entry free with no deposit required. So get both of those things going. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and growing. So check out Sleeper today. Get to it and go have some fun with sports this year. Okay, so of those 66 snaps, you had 35 snaps for Zach Charbonnet and 31 for Walker, so almost 50-50. And you might have expected that Charbonnet would have gotten a little bit of a bigger share because he was by far the better player of the two on Sunday. But one thing that's been going on this season, it feels like, is that Charbonnet is losing some of his third down snaps because he hasn't been effective in pass protection. So I think Walker's picking up some work there, and that's how you get to a roughly even split. It made sense in this game to let Charbonnet have more action because he was playing a lot better. But yeah, there it is. Both guys are very close to even on the season. Both guys are probably going to end up under 500 snaps, which I think is beautiful. And by the way, Robbie Oots, 14 snaps, so he remains a little bit of an afterthought, but he is getting non-trivial action. Decent chance he ends up with around 200 snaps on the year, which is not bad for a rookie who missed 4 games and then technically missed a fifth, even though he missed it seemingly because we didn't really want him. I still don't really know what happened there, but for some reason he was a healthy scratch for 1 game and then came right back. Anyway, wide receivers, it was pretty dang simple this week because we're kind of getting down to it when it comes to pass catchers. That's the one area of this team that is really starting to get worn down on, and hopefully by the time we play in the playoffs, things are better. JSN plays almost the whole game, 59 out of 66 snaps. Cooper Kupp plays 58 snaps, so almost the whole game again. And Rashid Shaheed was probably going to play a good amount, but then he got hurt, so he only played 12 snaps. And with Shaheed out, there wasn't a lot this team could do that they felt great about. Clearly, you had Jake Bobo getting 17 snaps, no catches. Tariq Young played 11 snaps, no catches. And it does highlight a problem this team is probably going to have this week against the 49ers, where probably no Shaheed, probably no Horton, no reason to believe he's going to be back yet. Looks like no Cody White, and by the way, probably, or actually definitely no Elijah Arroyo. So you put all that together, and it's like, we are going to be pretty thin with pass catchers. We are going to have to find different ways to get it done this week. So not thrilled about that, but you can see how things divvied up, which is to say they didn't really get divvied up at all. JSN and Cup played the whole game, and everyone else just kind of played little supporting roles and didn't offer much. Tight end, AJ Barner played most of the game. He's still up around 80% snap share, 52 out of 66. So he's going to get up to over 800 snaps on the year. So he's been a warrior, man. He's been a warrior, and good thing he's here because we haven't really been able to depend on other tight ends this year very much. Arroyo's had like one good game, and he's been out now for the last few games, so he didn't play. Eric Saubert, 34 snaps, so about half the game. He's valuable. I know that he's not an elite player or anything like that, but he does provide some value. Nick Collerup, 7 snaps, so a little bit. As much as Arroyo isn't a huge part of this offense, I do want him back because I feel like we're just kind of stretched thin here in a way that is uncomfortable. Offensive line is very simple this week. Everybody who started played all 66 snaps, and that's it. I don't think we went jumbo. If we did not go jumbo with offensive linemen. So just 66s across the board, and that's it for the offense. So that's pretty good. No real objection there. Nothing to really get upset about here, I think. Snap counts on defense. Now, according to the website that I used, we had 53 snaps defensively. I thought it was 50. So they listed Julian Love as having 53 snaps played. I'm wondering if that gets corrected at some point. So if it does, I'll make note of it later. But as of right now, they have it listed out as 53. I feel like it's 50, though. I'm just going to leave it at 53 because that's what the website had, but I thought it was 50. But whatever, either number is still very good. That is indicative of a pretty dominant defensive performance, which is what we had. The Panthers only converted, one third down the whole game? Hard to not be dominant when you are dominating that category like that. Defensive line, Murphy leads the way with 40 snaps. He plays almost the whole game, and it's only 40 snaps, which is awesome. 38 snaps for Big Cat, which after a week where he played a ridiculous number of snaps, that's big, very important. Jaron Reed, 19 snaps. So in a game like this, you almost kind of sort of give him the day off, which I'm sure he appreciates on some level. Riley Mills, 12 snaps, new career high, and was a little bit better this week. A little bit better. Mike Morris, 9 snaps, so there's some good stuff going on here. And you definitely wouldn't say the defense suffered for any of this. So you're definitely taking a look at this and going, they are prepping themselves for a big game next week. Guys like Big Cat, who played less than 40 snaps, guys like Reed, these guys should be ready to give it their all against San Fran, just like they were able to give it their all against LA. So hopefully this pays off, but was a relatively light day of work for these guys on Sunday. Linebacker, Ernest Jones plays the whole game until garbage time, 49 snaps. Drake Thomas plays almost the whole game, 43. Tyrese Knight, 4 snaps. Pat O'Connell, 3 snaps. So pretty standard stuff there. Just picks up some stuff in garbage time for Knight and O'Connell. Not much to say about it. Doesn't really mean that much, except we were winning by 3 scores at the end. Edge rusher. No Derek Hall this week, remember? So we did have to kind of stretch ourselves a bit, which is part of the reason why Mike Morris played some. I think his snaps came mostly on the edge, but D-Law played 37 snaps and was one of our best players. Uchenna Nwosu, 32, so a little bit more than half the game. And Boye Mafe, despite the lack of Derek Hall, and this represents how little we trust him right now, I'm sorry to say, 23 snaps, not even half the game. And I thought he played really well. I actually thought Mafe did his job quite well. We still seem to have trust issues here. And while I hope that his performance launches him into the postseason, I don't know. Like, it's possible that we just don't consider him to really be an effective player that can help us win against better offenses. I don't know. But this was a game to really let Mafe play like 40-plus snaps, and we barely touched him. 23 snaps feels like nothing. That's fewer than last week, and I know it's a much bigger share. It's still less than half, which is, I don't know. I don't think he's that bad. I know that he's a disappointment, but I certainly don't think he's this bad. Connor O'Toole, 4 snaps, by the way, so he did play a little bit. Clearly, we like him more than Jared Ivey, which is interesting. Jared Ivey is a bigger player, of course. Cornerback, we've got Devin Witherspoon basically playing the whole game except for garbage time, 49 snaps. Reek Woolen, 37 snaps. So he has now kind of officially moved into second place or the second outside corner ahead of Job. Job is still getting snaps. There are still some situations where I think this team wants Job out there. But Woolen has improved his play against the run and as a tackler enough to where I think they need to just kind of commit. You can have both on the field at the same time. But, I mean, you can see it right here, right? Job, less than half of the snaps. I think it represents something. I think we're basically saying, look, we're getting close to crunch time here. It's almost time for the big games that are going to decide everything. We're going to ride with Woolen more than we're riding with Job. So if you were looking for that, I think you got that. Job was basically invisible in this game, by the way. I don't think he showed up on screen once, because Carolina just could not throw the ball down the field. You can almost say the same about Woolen, too, but he showed up a little bit. Like Carolina's passing attack, Remedial doesn't even really begin to cover it. Pritchett, by the way, got on the field in garbage time, 4 snaps for him. Then for safeties, you've got Julian Love playing the whole game, the one defender who played the whole game, 53 snaps. Nick Emanwari, 48. So that's basically the whole game again, garbage time, blah, blah. Ty Okada, 47 snaps, misses a few snaps throughout the game. I think it was pretty much all at the end. And DeAnthony Bell, 6 snaps, so a little bit of garbage time as well. Not much to report, not much to say. That's it for snap count Monday. All right, I'll see you guys later. More stuff coming soon. Go Hawks. Got a new article going live in about an hour on SI. Go check it out. And keep an eye out for more videos in the next couple hours. Go Hawks. Victory Monday rolls on.